Hello everyone and welcome back. Game week 5 of the 24-25 Optegra Championship, where you join myself, Ryan Sipple, and my co-commentator, John Dixon, for Leeds Dynamos versus GBG Knights. How are you, John?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Ryan. I think this is going to be an exciting game, this one, I believe.
I think it absolutely will. GBG Knights faltered in their pursuit of the Championship trophy earlier today, succumbing to a 2-0 defeat to Sale United. Leeds Dynamos have aspirations of potential playoffs. It's probably slightly out of reach, but they'll want to end a season on the high regardless. Let's go through the squads quickly, starting with Leeds Dynamos, the designated home team. They have Sebastian Copeland, Jack McNaughton, Reece Stewart, Liam Chadwick, Jack Humphreys and Hayden Lambert. Their coach, or coaches, Lewis Harris and Seb Copeland. GBG Knights looking to bounce back in this one. They're comprised of Reece Mallet, Kai Shah, Oscar Smedley, George Holloway, Jack Ewins and Troy Willicombe. John, we was just talking off air about yourself and your football this season. For our listening audience, how have you found football with Aspire? It just seems to be going from strength to strength, not necessarily where you want to be in the Premiership, and you're probably the outsiders come game week 5 next weekend, but your progression in the Cup and your soon-to-be appearance at the Club World Cup in Paris, it's so exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great move for myself going to Aspire. It's been great to play alongside, obviously, John Baldwin being the England captain is really a good experience for myself to learn from one of the best players. And yeah, I think it's just been a move that I've been really pleased that I've made, and yeah, it's been an exciting season for us so far, but I think at the moment we're in really good form, so I'm hoping that our last weekend, I still feel we're like in a chance with the title.
There's no doubt about that. It's just relatively speaking that you are currently what, fourth, fifth?
Yeah, currently fourth. I think we are 4 points behind top of the table, West Brom. And we got to play them in the last weekend. So, I think anything's possible, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And Derby Arena, obviously, you played such a huge part in Aspire progressing and beating Leeds Chariots. How did you find that? Because it was 2 beautiful finishes from yourself.
Yeah, I found it a great experience, and I thought, yeah, my 2 goals that I got, I was really pleased with that, and we had a great team performance there up in Derby. Yeah, it was a special moment for me getting 2 goals to make the final for the first time. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be really exciting. I can't wait to play my first cup final. Yeah.
There's a real magic about the cup final at St George's Park. Obviously, it's part of the FA Disability Cup weekend, so they combine it with all the other impairments, but it's televised as well. Are you nervous to play on TV for the first time?
To be honest, I haven't really thought too much about the cameras. I'll just be focusing on my game as usual and make sure, I'm just doing the right things and doing my bit for the team, really.
Absolutely. So we've just been informed by one of the assistant referees, Jeff Lewis, that Oscar Smedley has failed a speed test for this one, so he will not feature in the first 20 minutes. He will have the opportunity to re-test at the half-time break, but that's a real blow for GBG Knights because he's been so influential to the way they play, the current leading assist provider in the Championship division with 18 across their games. So be interesting to see how they adapt to that. Another stat or fact provided by Jeff Lewis. Owen Swift, now part of the Teesside Steel team, scored his first goal for Teesside Steel, and that means he's scored for 5 different National League sides now. So he matches Hannah Hindley for scoring for 5 different clubs. Hannah Hindley had the opportunity to extend that to 6 earlier. She had the responsibility of a penalty kick for Muscle Warriors, but unfortunately for her, she did miss it. But there's still games for her to get that ball over the line and reclaim that record-breaking stat. Give me your prediction for this one, John, because GBG Knights now without Oscar for the first half really have to make up some ground on Muscle Warriors. They can't afford to do anything other than secure 3 points.
Yeah, well, I feel in this one, obviously, I think Leeds will be in good confidence after their win earlier against Manchester United, but I think GBG Knights will be a little bit wary from their result earlier this morning. I think it was a 2-0 loss to Sale, so I think Leeds are in good form at the minute, so I think I'm going to go with a 1-0 win Leeds, I think, on this one. I think.
Let's show our audience the live league standings so you can see that a win for Leeds Dynamos would put them on to 34 points, 2 behind Villa, Rockets, Lions, and 4 behind Teesside Steel. So there is still potential for them to make up some ground and secure that 3rd place playoff, but Teesside Steel just look formidable, and it doesn't look like they're going to be dropping points anytime soon. But Leeds Dynamos in game week 4 were brilliant. Obviously within game week 3 they were missing Jack Humphreys, they were missing Seb Copeland, and they were missing Hayden Lambert, and that's where we saw their season falter ever so slightly. But since they've got this full squad back, they're one of the most exciting teams to watch in the division, and I've no doubt Lewis Harris has played a part in that, being such a high quality player in the Premiership with Leeds Chariots. Have you played with Lewis Harris before? Obviously you're both in and around have been the West Bromwich Albion system, coming through Throssels and Dudley. Did you ever overlap and play for the same team at the same time?
No, unfortunately we never played together, but we were part of the West Brom setup. Yeah, but I know I didn't play in the same team as Lewis, but yeah, he's a player definitely for Leeds this season. He's definitely been a really good player for them. He's always a player that you can dominate a game, Lewis is.
So, final team talks before we're underway. Live on Court B, Dylan Palmer calling the action of Sale United and West Bromwich Albion Dudley. Sale United flying high following that 2-0 victory over GBG Knights earlier. But this should be a great fixture. We confirmed it on commentary earlier. Obviously, for those unaware, happening at the same time today, the EPFA home nations are occurring in Largs, Scotland, where England are facing opposition from Scotland, Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. And in Adam McAvoy's first game as official head coach, he oversaw a 4-1 victory over Northern Ireland. So a huge congratulations to him and the side, looking to extend their almost faultless run of home nation successes. But you're joining myself, Ryan Tipple and John Dixon for this one. Leeds Dynamos versus GBG Knights. As always, thank you to everyone that's tuning in across the YouTube stream. As always, please get your comments your thoughts, your predictions in the chat, and we'll give them a shout out. John Dixon's gone with a Leeds Dynamos win. I think this will be a draw. I'm going to go with 2-2. I think Leeds Dynamos have just growing in confidence game after game, and they're a team that I would tip to be hot contenders for the title next season if they can keep hold of this cohort of players who are clearly developing and growing every time they get onto the court with each other. Jack Humphreys most notably, been such a good player this season.
He definitely had a dominant display earlier against Manchester United. It was a really good performance from himself and the whole Leeds team. Yeah, they definitely looked like they were definitely on form in that game.
Most definitely. So at the conclusion of game week 5, as always, we'll be running our team of the weekend poll where you can vote on your standout player, your unsung hero and your team of the weekend. So that will be collected, that will be processed, that will be announced, and then Tuesday or Wednesday in the week we will be opening up the official award voting for the entire championship division, the big awards that will be recognised at our end of season awards night, Saturday, June the 14th, the sold out event where you'll be asked to vote for your player, young player, head coach, team, fantasy team, and a few others, as Kai Sharp has an attempt, 2-on-1 in favour of Leeds Dynamos. High energy start.
See what Leeds can do with this here. Oh, it's a kick into GBG Knights.
If I hadn't already, the squads as they start: Seb Copeland, Jack Humphreys, Hayden Lambert and Liam Chadwick for Leeds Dynamos, Troy Willicombe, Jack Ewins, Kai Shah and George Holloway for GBG Knights. Jack Humphreys into Hayden Lambert, over to Liam Chadwick, blocked by George Holloway, the league's top goal scorer with 20 finishes. Be looking to secure that golden boot come season's end. I'm sure the ultimate priority though is making sure they're automatically promoted to next season's Premiership. Beyond that, if they can secure the title and individual accolades.
Yeah, I believe they're very close to securing going up. I'm not 100% sure how many points they need, but I don't think it's many.
Yeah, mathematically there's still only a 4-point buffer, or 5 points considering this potential 1 point of this draw between them and Teesside still. So they've got a slight cushion, slight degree of comfort. They've been so formidable all season, and I think that probably further emphasises how good Muscle Warriors have been.
Yeah, I can't comment myself on Teesside still. I didn't see their game earlier, but when I've been watching the Championship from home, they're definitely a team that have always impressed me when I've been watching. I'm sure now with the addition of Owen Swift, who's a very experienced player, that can only be positive for them.
Absolutely, such an experienced player. George Holloway, blocked by Hayden Lambert.
I believe that was a 2-on-1 in Leeds Dynamo's favour there. See what Jack Humphreys can conjure from this.
Liam Chadwick to the left, Hayden Lambert close to his right. He opts for the latter. Wasn't really set for that. It's a bit disappointing. Got to make chances like that count.
Yeah, they're definitely a side. Leeds have got a few players who are very good at powerful reverse spin crosses, with Liam Chadwick currently on the pitch and also Jack McNaughton on the bench.
Jack McNaughton, such a effective set piece taker. Reece Stewart growing in confidence every time he plays. Kai Shah, nice little bit of control. Patiently waited, but blocked by Hayden Lambert. Out for a corner ball. Arguably GBG Knights' most credible opportunity to register a real opportunity. Jack Ewins to take. Kai Shah the closest option. George Holloway at the back post. Back to Holloway. Couldn't quite get the angle to generate real power to trouble Seb Copeland. So Jack Humphreys is going to break.
Yeah, I think this game should be a close one. Both very well organised defences, so I think there won't be maybe too many goals in this, but I think if we do see a goal, it should be a nice work goal, I think, to break down either defence here.
You wonder how much of a miss Oscar Smedley will be for GBG Knights, the ultimate creator he has been this season. I hope he can address that issue in the half-time break and retake the speed test and ensure that he is in the necessary zone.
Yeah, I believe it's Oscar Smedley's first National League season, so it's a very impressive start for him.
That's an understatement. The fact that you can come into the National League for the first time and almost spearhead your team's pursuit of a trophy, be it in consideration for individual accolades as well. He'll no doubt be in contention for maybe the Young Player of the Season. He'll want the Playmaker Award. Unfortunately for him, it's the first year, the first season where we're actually acknowledging assists. So we have a beautiful glass award to provide someone at our end of season awards. Whoever is the top creator in both the Premiership and the Championship. Another development and improvement we've introduced. Jack Ewins into Holloway across his chair. Now is a potential break on Liam Chadwick. Just snaps at it. I'd have liked to seen him just keep possession of that. That reminded me a little bit of your goal against Leeds Chariots in the Cup. How you patiently stayed in reverse, waited for the goalkeeper to show their hand, and then you engaged it. There was no option there for Liam Chadwick. So almost just gifting possession back. That's a beautiful pass as well from Jack Ewins. Nice 1-2 with Kai Shah, and he was just millimetres away from connecting with it. Much better from GBG Knights. Jack Ewins having a really positive game.
Yeah, I think he tends to usually play in goal for GBG Knights, but he's doing a very good job there in the middle for them. Oh, that's a lovely cross there. Oh, nice save there from Troy Willicombe.
Yeah, really nice football. Zigzagging across the court. But you're right, Jack Ewins, typically the goalkeeper or adorns the goalkeeper jersey. But with Oscar Smedley being out, they've had to shift things around tactically. Troy Willicombe currently got that black goalkeeper jersey on as Jack McNaughton on in place of Liam Chadwick.
That's a nice ball there.
Hayden Lambert with an opportunity. It's a barrage of attempts from Leeds Dynamos. Confirmation of that substitute. Should there be any goals on Court B. We will bring you them, as you can see from that. Nothing to separate Sale United and West Bromwich Albion Dudley. Ewins trying to pick out Holloway. It's end-to-end stuff here.
Yeah, there's been some nice football being played so far. It's always great to see.
Holloway blocked by Hayden Lambert. Ewins into Holloway. Over to Kaishar, an opportunity here. Didn't quite get the timing or the angle to threaten the goal. But the warning signs are definitely there.
Yeah, Leeds Dynamos just having to soak up the pressure a little bit here at the moment.
Seb Copeland did engage that ball, so play is live. Kaishar quick to close the space and try and dispossess Jack Humphreys. Aidan Lambert trying to keep it in play, gives possession back to GBG Knights, who have just maintained a little bit of territory in Dynamos' half. .5 minutes play. Dynamos nil, GBG Knights nil. Over to Kai Shah. Sorry, George Holloway. Jack McNaughton. 2-on-1 in favour of GBG Knights, so they can maintain this attacking pressure. No rest for Dynamos. Jack McNaughton just getting an adjustment with his chair. Jack Ewins to take, indirect free kick, over to Holloway, nice pass intended for Kai Shah, just blocked by Seb Copeland.
We're just starting to take control of this game, GBG.
Well left by Jack Ewins there, just showing a bit of experience, not to engage it.
GBG just needed to take their time a little bit more with that kick in. Because sometimes don't necessarily always have to cross it first time, I think.
Humphreys, back to McNaughton.
Unfortunate touch there. It's been a good battle so far though.
The goal on court B, I think it's gone in the favour of Sale United.
Oh, what a goal from Jack Ewins there, lovely finish, right in the corner. I think Leeds were soaking up quite a lot of pressure there, and finally GBG got the goal that they wanted. Yeah, we'll see what Leeds Dynamos can do here from the kickoff. And there's not been too much to separate the sides so far, but I think that was a moment of brilliance there to open up the score in there. See what Jack Humphreys can do here. Oh, that's unfortunate from Jack McNaughton there. Is Jack Ewins the goal scorer? Oh, close there from George Holloway. Nearly a nice crossover to Kaishar. Could be a break on here for Leeds Dynamos. But no, GBG have got the ball back. It's a nice move here. Kaishar, oh, unfortunate, hit the back of his chair there. Goal kick to Leeds.
So approaching the half-time break. 3 minutes or so left. GBG Knights, as you said a minute ago, John, just starting to have a little bit more success. It was a beautiful goal converted by Jack Ewins.
Yeah, I felt if there was going to be a goal in this game, it would be a moment of brilliance to unlock the defence.
Half-time on court beat. Sale United 1, West Bromwich Albion, Dudley 0. Having a brilliant start to game week 5. That's also streamed, of course, across the WFA YouTube channel. You can also follow everything on the WFA Scoreline app. The best place to keep up to date with everything. Results, fixtures, lineups and more. I'm just going to go on the WFA scoreline to see who scored for Sale United. Mason Davies, youngest player competing in the Championship division. One of the brightest young prospects anywhere in the country. As George Holloway will want to add to his goal tally to safeguard that top goal scorer award. Slightly rushed there from George Holloway. I'd like to have seen him just get a better angle to keep that in play. All GBG Knights will be hoping for now is Muscle Warriors dropping points. We're referencing the fixtures. Muscle Warriors play Manchester City next. So in terms of favourable fixtures in the Championship division, it doesn't get much better than FC Bournemouth Warriors and Manchester City, two teams right at the bottom. Tomorrow will be a little bit tougher, Manchester United and GBG Knights, but GBG Knights will need Muscle Warriors to drop points against City or Manchester United because the deficit is too great in a single game between the two sides. Final minute of this half. Leeds just haven't created a great deal, have they, John?
No, they started well, but they've been struggling to create much really since then. They seem to just be soaking up quite a bit of pressure. They've had their moments, but nothing, no sustained pressure by them so far.
Another significant bit of news for tonight as George Holloway attempts an effort. The EPFA Nations Cup draw will be taking place at around 7 p.m. Details on the EPFA Facebook page. Being conducted at the Italian Club Championship, so the National League equivalent in Italy. The draw will be conducted, obviously the host venue for the 2025 iteration of the European Championships. Thank you to all that are tuning in to myself and John Dixon. Half-time, Leeds Dynamos 0, GBG Knights 1. We'll be back very shortly for the second half. Hello everyone and welcome back to the second half of this fixture between Leeds Dynamos and GBG Knights. You once again are joining myself and John Dixon for the action. John, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this next half. It should be a good half.
I haven't had confirmation as of yet, but I assume Oscar Smedley retested in the half-time break. So hopefully he can feature in the second. But for those unaware, he did fail the speed test at the beginning of the game. So had to wait for his opportunity to retest at the half-time break, and then hopefully he can feature in the second. But his creativity has been so fundamental to the way that GBG Knights play. Leeds Dynamos looked slightly out of ideas in the first half, but that I think we owe credit to GBG Knights, to just that high press. It's as if Sale United have doubled their advantage against Dudley as we are officially underway here. 20 more minutes. GBG Knights looking to get back in that race for the championship title. If you're Leeds, John, how do you go about reversing this scoreline and finding some success, do you think?
Well, I definitely think they approached the first half in the right way. They did have some chances, so I think really just carry on with what they were doing, really. I think they'll feel they're slightly unlucky to be 1-0 down at this point. So, yeah, I just think carry on how they're playing, really.
George Holloway there just hasn't got his shooting boots on today. Not quite making the timing connection or finding the accuracy needed to trouble the opposition goalkeepers. He'll be disappointed with that. I can see him shaking his head. But yeah, I would agree. Probably more of the same would benefit Leeds Dynamos. If you meet fire with fire and try and play this expansive football against one of the most proficient teams in the Championship at it, you're probably going to come unstuck. But if you play compact defensive football and then look to break on quick, sharp counter-attacks, I think that's where you'll find your success. They commit a lot.
Cross there.
Yeah, they commit a lot of players forward, GBG Knights, and that was better timing and connection from George Holloway. Sadly, no one there to capitalise at the back post. But GBG Knights looking to pick up where they left off on the front foot. Must have taken a touch off a Leeds chair there as Kaishar comes away with the set piece into the centre. George Holloway trying to capitalise. Very congested. Whistle in the mouth of Pete Taylor. Surely a 2-on-1 to be awarded. George Holloway before that, I think he was trying to give a 2-on-1, but the advantage was played. The goal was scored. And after 22 minutes, George Holloway, the league's top goal scorer, scores his 21st goal of the season. Just trying to determine who was the assist provider whilst it came off a Leeds chair. Kaishar was the one that put it on the plate. Leeds Dynamos 0, GBG Knights 2. And it's probably no less than they deserve. And they've bounced back from a slight shaky start to game week 5. And are on course to secure 3 points in this one.
A slight bit of hesitation from on Leeds' part, but GBG took full advantage of that. Oh, it's another great cross. Oh, nice block there.
You can see what that goal has done for George Holloway's confidence. Just the connection and timing within the last 3 or 4 minutes is much improved than from what we saw in the first half and what he produced in their first game. And that's exactly what we want to see. He deserves that top goal scorer award.
Yeah, just 2 really powerful crosses there.
He's got a 3-point buffer over Oscar Mulgrew, who has... Sorry, a 3-goal buffer over Oscar Mulgrew, who has 18 goals. So he won't want to switch off. Oscar Mulgrew, arguably the most informed player in the whole division. Kaishar across the box to George Holloway, blocked by Jack Humphreys, who tries to flick it out of danger. He's just commanding Jack McNaughton to reverse down that right-hand wing to give him the space, and lashed at by Jack Ewins. A rare miss-hit from a very proficient distributor of the ball. Confirmation of Court B scoreline. Sale United 2 goals up against West Bromwich Albion Dudley.
Yeah, they've had a very good weekend so far, Sale. I think that's 2 wins from 2 at the moment.
Absolutely it is.
Definitely a side with lots of young, talented players, that Sale team.
Yeah, David D, well on course to get double digits for goals and assists. Will be desperately hoping to secure that Young Player of the Season award. George Holloway to take into Jack Ewins, patient, back to Holloway. Very stationary wall comprised of Jack McNaughton and Jack Humphreys. Got 3 Jacks on the court at the moment. It's a good job I always first name and surname players. Good work from Jack McNaughton.
It's a great run here from Jack McNaughton.
Yeah, just to buy a little bit of possession in the GBG Knights half.
Yeah, I think they just need to do that to take the pressure off themselves a little bit here. They've been struggling to get out their half a little bit here.
Jack Ewins having a brilliant game. You would definitely say an unfamiliar kind of central role, but he's so versatile. He's another that can operate in any of the 4 positions on the court and will do a really effective job. Substitute for Dynamos. Hayden Lambert re-entering the play. Off goes Jack McNaughton. Oscar Smedley yet to feature. As mentioned, yet to confirm whether or not he was successful in his retaking of the speed test, for which he failed prior to the game kicking off.
Yeah, I did see him coming away from his second speed test, but not too sure if he passed or not.
GBG Knights obviously having a lot of success with this current setup, so maybe a slight reluctance to change. Irrelevant of the ultimate outcome, the ultimate title lifter, you have to say GBG Knights are very much deserving of a spot in next season's Premiership, as Kai Shah lines up a shot blocked by Seb Copeland. They've just seemed to be a level above the majority of all opposition.
Yeah, I don't know if this is enough points to promote GBG Knights at this stage. You might have to tell me, Ryan. I'm not too sure.
When it comes to the maths, this potential 3 points would see them extend their advantage to 7 points over Teesside Steel. So no, it doesn't automatically promote them, but it definitely puts them in a very good position to ensure that come tomorrow afternoon, evening, they will have booked their spot in the 25-26 Premiership campaign.
Yeah, you'd think they've given themselves a great opportunity of sealing promotion tomorrow. I think it's probably between, potentially still Leeds Dynamos in it, but you'd think maybe at this point between think it's Villa, Rocket, Lions, and Teesside Steel
Yeah,
for that third place.
I
You would
watched
think.
Villa Rockets Lions earlier against Manchester United. They were brilliant. Mason Hindley most notably, but without Naglismont Villas, there is there is an element missing that I think they're going to find very apparent as their weekend goes along. So you would say, without question, it's Teesside Steels to lose, but never say never. Leeds Dynamos are still in contention for that. They're only, well, saying that with this result, they would go. Actually, worth noting, Sale United would leapfrog Leeds Dynamos in the standings with the current results on Court A and Court B. So
I think it's going to go down to the wire for third place. Yeah, it's always an exciting day. The playoffs, I've been a part of it myself when I was at West Brom Dudley, unfortunately.
did you play Leeds Chariots then?
Yeah, the Leeds
And it was
Chariots.
Leeds Chariots were very fortunate to come away with it in the end, weren't they? And that was a Leeds Chariot side with Dan Rigby. I seem to recall, I think Seb Copeland.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I believe that was the side. I think we ended up losing that one narrowly 2-1, but it was a tight contested game.
I remember it was on this exact court, wasn't it?
I believe that's right.
It
Yeah.
is. We're going back to 2019 maybe a little bit later. Wow, levered
a while
shot.
ago now, but yeah, like I say, it's a good game to be a part of. It's definitely an exciting game if you are part of it. Obviously, unfortunate for myself that I couldn't win that game, but yeah, like I say, it's always an exciting game to
It's
be a
worked
part
out
of.
okay in the end, hasn't it, John? You're now fighting
Yeah,
for Premiership
yes.
titles. You're at St George's Park for the FA Disability Cup final. You're travelling to Paris to compete in the Fit for Power Chair Football Club World Cup. Things have not turned out too bad at all.
No,
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Have to say, GBG Knights very much deserving of a spot in the Premiership. When you're looking at their players, I think Jack Ewins, Troy Willicombe, George Holloway, Kai Shah have played the Premiership in recent years for the various former clubs. I don't recall Reece Mallet in my time playing in the Premiership. He was a long-time servant of Muscle Warriors, who have always been a strong Championship side, but never necessarily had the ingredients to really push for a promotion push, let alone a title push, which looks like it will be the case. And Kai Shah as well, a long-time player and competitor with Sevenoaks in the Premiership and Nomad Knights. Oscar Smedley, as we've already mentioned, this is his first ever National League season, so in his second season he could have supported a promotion push and will be playing his football in the top flight of power chair football in England, a league we regard as the best in the world, so it speaks volumes at the levels they're operating at.
Yeah, I always think the Championship is definitely a good platform for new players to come into the sport. I say definitely over the years, and even since I was playing in the Championship, I think the standards just improved year on year.
So, whilst we were talking, Reece Mallet has come on in place of Kai Shah. Confirmation of that substitute. And that confirms our question, John. Second substitute for GBG Knights.
Yeah,
The
passed.
superstar that is Oscar Smedley has entered the field of play, so would have passed that secondary speed test to feature, and he'll be looking to create something, create some assists in the closing 7 or so minutes we have left of this game to safeguard his position as the league's top assist provider, the top playmaker.
He seems to have taken up a central role.
That's where
for
a
the
lot
time being.
of the assists come from.
Yeah, definitely.
So he has 17, 18 assists, I think, in the league. Jamil Khan and Kai Shah and Oscar Mulgrew all on 13. So whilst he has a slight buffer, slight advantage over them, getting further assists will certainly help his cause to ensure that come season's end, come the end of season awards, he's picking up that beautiful glass award.
That's a lovely pass there. Or unfortunate for Reece Mallet there.
Flicked by Oscar Smedley to Reece Mallet, attempts an effort, a goal. The whistle in the mouth of Pete Taylor. 2-on-1 in favour of Leeds Dynamos to give their defence a break. Smedley to Reece Mallet. Seems like a really fiery game on court B. Dudley have half the deficit, so game on over there. Liam Chadwick going the long way round Oscar Smedley. Kai Shah just bypasses Hayden Lambert. I'd like to have seen him just vacate that and let Reece Mallet keep it in play. Chadwick to Lambert, didn't get the timing and or connection to really threaten GBG Knights. It's been a quiet game for Troy Willicombe. Getting some meaningful minutes under his belt. Smedley just guides it in the path of Kai Shah, but cut out by Liam Chadwick.
Nice move developing here. Oh. Seb Copeland able to block that one.
Reece Stewart recently on in place of Jack Humphreys. Chadwick over to Reece Mallet. Hasn't had a great deal of action since his introduction to the play, but wins his side a kick in high on the right hand side. Final few minutes, John. I'm going to have to ask you to start your thought process around potential player of the match. I'll come back to you in the final minute. But late on, GBG Knights just managing this result. Reece Mallet deemed the aggressor. Foul awarded in favour of Seb Copeland and Leeds Dynamos. It's exactly the way GBG Knights needed to respond following that disappointment earlier today.
Yeah, I think this will definitely settle the nerves for them. I think they may have been a little bit concerned after the first game, but I think they've definitely dealt with the nerves well.
They have got another game to contest today, which is scheduled for 4:30 against Villa Rocket Lions. So a few hours to rest and recover from this one before going again. Smedley into Kai Shah, trying to squeeze the ball to the back post. Kai Shah into the box. Well vacated
Oh,
and left by
unfortunate
Oscar Smedley. Follow-up effort from Reece Mallet, blocked by Liam Chadwick. Final minute. John, your player of the match, if you would please.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely have to give it to GBG Knights Jack Ewins. I think he's had a really dominant display in the middle, and he's able to get that important opener for his side, and I think they haven't really looked back since then. So yeah, I'll definitely have to give it to him. He's had a really good game.
Yeah, fantastic choice, and I would struggle to disagree with any of that. So versatile, so effective, was key to the success they had, and has proved a real valuable signing from AFC Bournemouth Warriors. 25 seconds to go. Kai Shah guides the ball over the line to put the cherry on top.
It's a nice bit of anticipation there from Kai Shah, just to front bumper it home there.
More importantly, the assist provider was that of Oscar Smedley. So now he is on, I believe, 19 assists across the season, which is a really nice accumulation. Regulation 20 has been played. A goal here would be nothing more than a consolation, sadly, for Leeds Dynamos, but they haven't given up. And that signals the end of the game. Leeds Dynamos 0, GBG Knights 3. A great performance from GBG Knights. Who'll be looking to take that momentum into their next 3 games. Thank you to all that have tuned in to myself and John Dixon. Next up on Court A, Manchester City versus league leaders Muscle Warriors.